Hello everyone, and thank you for joining our Adobe webinar today, where we'll be discussing the Adobe Document Cloud. So I'm joined here by Steve Newbury, Senior Solutions Consultant from Adobe, and also Ed Pontone, who will be discussing the licensing options nearer the end of the webinar.
Hi folks, so this is Steve. As Amy said, Ed will be joining us towards the end of the session to discuss the licensing options, etc. So without further ado, let's make a start. So Adobe Document Cloud is the latest cloud in Adobe's multitude of clouds. So we now have the Document Cloud joining the Creative Cloud and Marketing Cloud offerings from the organisation. So what is the Document Cloud? Well, Document Cloud is basically an all-new unified experience for users, both on desktop, mobile and web, for working with documents. Includes the world's best PDF tools and a brand new Acrobat. Integrated services such as eSign, which were only available separately previously, are included as part of a Document Cloud subscription, and a whole bunch of new connected mobile apps that allow you to take your Acrobat work and work with PDFs on the go. On top of that, we've also got tools, Send and Track, and other integrations that allow organisations to build in solution to their existing systems. So the all-new Acrobat has a brand new, clean, modern and consistent user interface, a brand new tool centre, and we've made it even easier to convert documents to PDF and from paper to editable documents, edit, export and reuse any PDF content. And we also offer full integration with MS Office and SharePoint. The Office integration is Windows only at this time. E-signing. So previously we had a product offering called EchoSign, and EchoSign has actually been integrated into Acrobat. So every Document Cloud subscription now includes a EchoSign individual subscription to allow people to get documents signed anywhere. We also offer a fill and sign tool that anyone can use to fill and sign documents without the need for it to be converted into a form or a signature-enabled document. This basically allows people to fill and sign ad hoc documents. The only difference, or the major difference, is it's not tracked as it would be with the eSign solution, and it's typically not legally binding. As part of our enterprise offering, we also offer business tools to automate and integrate with third-party SaaS solutions such as Salesforce.com, Workday, etc. We also offer iOS and Android applications for both tablet and phone that allow people to actually create, edit, comment and sign, organise their documents while on the go using their mobile device. Additionally, Acrobat Dc for Windows is also touch-enabled for working with Microsoft Surface type devices and touch-enabled laptops, so that it becomes basically touch-friendly, allows you to use gestures, etc., to move your way around the documents. Additionally, for our IT admins, who it usually falls to configure and deploy the software to the users within an organisation, we offer a complete suite of deployment and user management tools to allow IT administrators to integrate the software, customise user settings and deploy that software using standard deployment tools such as SCCM, Apple Remote Desktop, Caspar, etc. And we also allow deployment virtually using Citrix XenApp and also now Microsoft AppV. AppV at the moment is for reader only, but in the coming months we're also going to add Acrobat to that. All the information, including the Enterprise Toolkit, customization wizard, etc., can be found at the IT Resources portal. The link is at the bottom of the page, and I'll show you it shortly during the course of the demonstration. So yeah, Citrix support, AppV support coming, and also user experience virtualization settings for AppV coming later this year as well. Okay, without further ado, let's take a look at the application itself. just going to make my laptop available. There we go. I'm just going to move across to my Windows desktop. So this is the all-new Acrobat Dc for Windows in this case. Looks exactly the same on the Macintosh, and in a moment I'll also show you it running on an iPad. Great thing about this is it's a completely clean user interface now, where before people had to search to find the tools they wanted through multiple menus, and there were invariably 2 or 3 different ways to access the same tools. Everything's now been cleaned up and all the tools have been made consistent and easy to use. The right-hand panel on this side is user configurable, and I'll show you in a moment how that's done. And also, if you can't find the tool, or you're thinking about a tool you might need to use and it's not immediately apparent to you, we now have a search tools. Whoops, I've been logged out of Windows, sorry about that. Okay, search tools, which allows us to simply type it in. So if I want, for example, the print production tools, I can just start typing print, and it brings up all the options associated with print production, working with optimizing PDFs, PDF standards. I can go straight to print production without further ado. No problem at all. If I go over to the Tools tab up here, this Tools tab allows me to access tools, but also to actually place shortcuts onto the right-hand panel. So I can simply drop the tool across onto the right-hand panel, and it's available to me. If I use this tool frequently, I can move it to the top or wherever I like in the order. So again, customize it. And if I never combine files or send for signature, I can simply click on the cross and remove the tool. Additionally, each one of these, if you right-click on them, also allows you to move the tool around, open the tool obviously, but also learn more. And when you click on Learn More, it takes us off to a web page which explains more about using that particular tool and a little how-to guide as to how to use the tool. It doesn't replace help, but it's a really quick and convenient way to find more information about tools you may not be familiar with. Okay, I'm just going to pop that away for a moment. Come back to here. So again, very easy to configure this. When we're working with a document, maybe we want to edit this document or change it. As soon as we click on one of these tools, Edit PDF for example, the right-hand panel is replaced with the tool set, and additional tools are made available to us across the top toolbar. So the whole of the tool and any additional tools you might want to use are made available to you immediately, so you don't have to go hunting for them. With regard to editing PDF, we've made this a whole lot more simple than it was previously. So in this case, if I come in here to edit PDF, it identifies the editable areas, but does a much better job of it than it did in previous versions of this particular tool, in that it now identifies a complete text flows as opposed to individual paragraphs and lines of text. So we can come in really quickly and easily and make edits as appropriate to our text in the document. We can also access images, we can replace them, we can rotate them, we can flip them, we can do all sorts of things with them, as you would expect with any kind of editing capability. Now, of course, it may be that you don't want people to be able to edit. So once you've made changes or you've created a PDF, you also have the option to click on the button and restrict editing. And that basically protects the document, so only people with a password are actually able to unlock and edit the document going forward. When we come to things like list editing, that was always a real pain in the previous version, in that it wasn't entirely intuitive. You had to click and then right-click and then say Add Bullet Item. Now you just simply return Add Bullet Items exactly as you'd expect to do in something like PowerPoint. Additionally, whoops, looks like I've got some leftovers from a previous job here. Do excuse the comments that are left on here. When we've got numbered lists, again, simply return add new numbers, and if we were to, for example, remove a line item, it renumbers for us. So again, it works intuitively and as the user would expect it to. So really quick, really easy to use. Also, when we're working with documents in Acrobat, Acrobat keeps track of what we've had open, and it adds those on our home screen to our recent files list. So every document we open and work with will be added to the recent files list. And if you choose to and turn mobile link on, these documents and these recent documents lists are propagated out to the cloud and synchronized across all your instances of Acrobat. So wherever you open Acrobat, whether you open it on the desktop in the desktop version, whether you open Acrobat DC on your iPad, or you happen to have a machine at home, as soon as you sign in, your mobile link will actually synchronize the documents you've been working with. And it identifies those that are in the cloud as opposed to on the local machine, with a little cloud icon in the list here. The user doesn't actually have to do anything in order for this to work, it just works. The other thing it does is it remembers where you were in the document. So if we go back to our document here, for example, we're on this table in this presentation. I'm just going to close the document down. Do I want to save changes? No, I don't. And I'm just going to flip across and get out of my presentation for a moment. Move across to my iPad if I can find it hiding under all these recent windows. Oh, here we go. So, on the screen is my iPad running with Acrobat Mobile, and my recent files list is showing that Fresh Farm Honey Business Plan presentation at the very top of the list. I can also see any devices of any documents I've got open on the local device, or got available to me on the local device, and also if I've chosen to use the storage, the document cloud storage, any documents that I've got stored in the cloud on a permanent basis. Let's go back to recent. Now, if I open up the Fresh Farm Honey, it'll take a few seconds for this to download because it's in the cloud. But once that document's downloaded and opened, we'll see that it actually opens on the page that we were working on. Now, additionally, when we're working with the mobile device, I'll show you in a moment once this document's open, we have a number of additional options available to us if we're signed in with a valid Acrobat DC Document Cloud subscription, which also includes such things as being able to create PDF from the mobile device, the ability to organize pages on the mobile device, and with an Acrobat Pro DC subscription, you can also edit and organize documents on the fly and combine documents on the web. So that's all very good. Apologies for the slow network connection here. Seem to be having a few Wi-Fi issues within our location today. I need to make a note to myself to make sure that this one's on the local device when I'm doing this one and propagate it out that way. So again, any documents that I open on the mobile device, again, will propagate back to the cloud. And there we go. It's opened up on the iPad in the same position as it did that I left it when I left my desktop device. So basically, you no longer have to really remember where you've left the document anymore. It just happens to be available to you, whichever device that you choose to work on. And again, we can move through this document. And if we want to, then we can come over here to the menu. And these are the tools we have available to us on the iPad, including the Edit PDF. So again, we can come in here, identify editable areas, and allows us to make edits as necessary in the on the mobile device. So quick, easy, intuitive, finger-friendly, all good stuff. Again, if we want to export this PDF, we can do that. We can also organise pages within the PDF. So we can come to Organise Pages and drag pages around to organise them where we want them in the document. So quick and easy to do that as well. Only I can get hold of it with my sticky finger. And there we go. Very quickly to reorganise documents. And finally here, what we'll have a quick look at, we've got the commenting capabilities. So again, if you want to add post-it notes to this document. And again, with the mobile link turned on, we also synchronize preferences as well. So any menu changes that you make on the desktop, for example, are propagated across your desktop devices. But also, if you change things like colours of post-it notes or colours of annotation tools and so on and so forth, these will also propagate between devices and across surfaces. So again, making it a lot more intuitive for people to use. So if you like green post-it notes and yellow pens, that's entirely your choice. It will be propagated across all your devices. And finally, here, I'm going to do Export PDF. And export this particular one to a PowerPoint document. And this will actually be undertaken in the cloud for us, in the background, and it will be set for conversion and available to me in my outbox when I go back to my desktop, into the web, or onto another mobile device. So quick and easy there. And the last one, across all documents here, we've got the camera to PDF option. I won't actually do this right now, but you can take a photograph or select a photo from your photo stream, convert that to PDF, and make it available for work in Acrobat as well. So very quick, very easy to do. So let's just go back to my home screen, and we'll see that that's exporting to PowerPoint. So we'll leave that to chunter on and go back to our desktop for a moment. And here I'm going to pop across now into my web browser. In the web browser, if we sign into documents.adobe.com, we have access again to our various PDF services and e-signing services from a web browser. So literally with a subscription, once you're signed in, you have access to all these services from any device that has an internet connection and has a web browser. So we can export PDF, create PDF, combine files, use fill and sign, send and track. Send and track, I won't show it, but send and track is for sending larger documents that you might not want to send as an email attachment, and it also tracks those documents, so it tells you when the document's been received and downloaded, which, unlike email, you can actually see when someone's received something. So a bit like DHL or whatever for electronic documents. Okay, I'm just going to go to Manage Files here and access my document cloud, and we should be able to see in a moment, network gods being willing, that in amongst my recent files we should have, whoops, I've lost it. It's gone. Okay, never mind. Didn't synchronise quite as I expected, but never mind. Oh, there it is. PowerPoint. Fresh Farm Honey. Now as a live PowerPoint document, PPTX document, ready for us to download and use in Microsoft PowerPoint. So again, very quick, very easy to convert documents ready for use in other applications. Okay. While we're on the subject of working with these documents, I'm just going to open up a PDF document here of a scanned page. So this page is simply a scanned document, so it's got no editable content in it whatsoever. And the Edit PDF capability can also be employed on documents that were previously scanned. So if we say Edit PDF now, Acrobat will, in the background, convert this document and make it available to us for editing purposes. And just converting that to an editable document. So now we have a document that is fully editable. So we can come in here and click on something like Egyptian, for example, and change it to something else. And we can now edit that document. We can also, if we wish to, export that to an editable format as well. And I'll show you a previously converted one rather than put you through another progress bar. That same document exported to a Word document. Although the font information is not retained, the document itself and its basic formatting is all converted and changed into an editable Word document that you can then reuse the content of elsewhere. Okay. Right, what I'd like to do now is run us through some of the tools and capabilities available to people that are responsible for actually delivering this software to users, so the IT resources. So back in the web browser, if we go across to the IT resources page here, we can see that we've got an Enterprise IT resources section, and probably the most important documents here are the Document Cloud Enterprise Toolkit and the Enterprise Administration Guide. And going in here, this gives you all the information you might want for desktop administration, setting preferences, access to the customization wizards for customizing the software, and a bunch of other stuff, including information around application security, setting up protected mode or protected view, etc. If we go into the Desktop Administration Guide, in here. We have the administration basics, we have pre-deployment planning sections, we have sections around using SCCM and SCUP, Citrix deployments, terminal services deployment, etc., etc. Loads of information to help people configure their software and get it out to their users. With regard to the customization wizard itself, this is a tool that basically allows you to set preferences and also tune out features and capabilities of the application you might not want to use, for example. So with this, we basically just point this to our installer. So I'm just going to point it to the Windows MSI installer. There's also a customization wizard for the Macintosh. And when we open up this, we then can do things like insert a serial number if we've gone for a serialized deployment, either through Perpetual or through an enterprise agreement. We can also set the deployment path and also suppress display of things like end-user license agreements, etc., so that people don't have to click through a dialog box after the software has been deployed in order to use it. Various installation options available to us. Set the Acrobat as the default viewer, for example. What language will be used for installation, and whether it will be an unattended installation, whether you want it to be silent installation, so on. Right the way down through to things like setting preferences for the forms and webmail. And if you come down here, in the Tools one, we can decide which tools you disable in the Tools tab and the Tools pane. So if you don't want people to have any access at all, for example, to the JavaScript editing capabilities in Acrobat, you can turn that off in the user interface directly. And I'm just looking for the online services. So if you don't want people to use the online services or only want them to have access to specific online services, we can basically come in here and say disable all services or disable only the Acrobat Document Cloud services or send for signature or whatever. So very granular in terms of the services you can turn off. And also here's where you turn off the automatic product updates so that you become responsible for deploying updates as opposed to the users having their software updated automatically from Adobe servers. So yeah, lots and lots and lots of configuration options. And as I said, there's a preference reference guide that has all the Windows registry key information in it that allows you to edit and work with the registry directly. And you can even do that sort of stuff directly from within the user interface as well. So really quick and easy way to create an MST for a transform for the MSI on deployment so that you can pre-configure the software to your exact specifications. So a really nice, easy way for people to work with the software. And I won't save any changes to that. So that's a really, really quick potted overview of the stuff here. I'll finish up with just one last thing. I'm going to open a JPEG of a form that's been scanned, and in this case I'm going to run something called enhanced scans on this because I want to straighten this up and clean it up a bit. And it's a scanned document and enhance. Let's go through that. And this will optimize the document, get rid of any marks on it, and also try and straighten it up so that it's ready to go. So that's a nice clean document here. Now what I want to do is actually make this ready to be signed electronically. So I'm going to come out of enhanced scans momentarily here, and I'm going to say send for signature. Okay, we can save that. And we'll pop it on the desktop like so. And when we send this for signature, I'm going to say prepare form, because at the moment it's just a piece of scanned paper basically with no fillable fields in it. What Acrobat's going to do here is it's going to run that text recognition in the background, and then it's going to go off and try and identify the form fields that it thinks it can find, and it does a pretty good job of this. So in most cases it's got a form field in here, not in every case, and if they're not there you can simply get the tool you want from the top bar, the field type you want from the top bar, and insert it in the document for yourself, give it a name, and so on and so forth. So really quick and easy. You can also change things like tab order and all that kind of stuff and add the relevant fields. And once we've done this, it's also identified the fact that there's a signature. It's recognised the word signature and put a signature field in for us. So we're ready to go. We just say send for signature down here, ready to send, and it'll upload it to the cloud. Allow me to type in an email address. All right, and once it's loaded itself up, I'll send this form to my colleague Edward. All right, okay. Non-standard Adobe email address. Once we're done, we can fill out any information we want to put in here in terms of a message for the recipient. I'll just send this document to Ed, and he'll receive this momentarily and be able to sign it and return it to me. And once he's done so, I'll get an email message saying that Ed's received and signed the document. And we could also go into the management portal here and have a quick look at our documents. And we see all the documents that have been sent, the ones that have been signed, ones that are waiting for me to sign. We can see that there's a document out to Ed for signature, which he's received, and it's appeared. Brilliant. He's just going to sign it and send it back. Once he's done that, we can actually track the entire history of this document. And what the eSign service does is it manages the entire process. So if we had more than one signatory, for example, we'd add them in the list over and over, and the document would be routed in the order of those email recipients for them all to sign it as well. So it's waiting to be signed. Let's just refresh this window, and hopefully we will get an update momentarily. Yep, there we go. We've got notification here. Document e-signed by Ed, date and everything else, and the fact that this particular process is completed. Had he not signed it in good time, I could have either replaced him with a different signatory, or I could have sent him a reminder direct from here as well. Once the document's signed, I get a copy of the signed document, and a PDF copy is also sent back to the person who signed the document for their records, along with a complete documented audit trail for that document, so that they can see as and when it was signed, and that everyone is aware that it's been signed. And these are legally binding e-signed documents. So I think that about does it for a brief overview of this stuff. Obviously, if you've got additional questions, ask them at the end. But at this point, I'm going to hand back to Ed, and Ed's going to go through some of the licensing options that are available to us for Document Cloud. Back to PowerPoint. There you go.
Hello everyone, thank you Stephen for that. I'm just going to give you guys a brief overview of the licensing agreements that you can purchase from. So as you can see here as well, the pricing, these are manufactured suggested retail prices. They're a new lower price, and you can gain additional information from Bytes conversations regarding that. Now, buying the sort of Document Cloud is, there's 5 different agreements. 3 of them are under subscription, 2 under Perpetual. So first of all, VIP, the Value Incentive Plan, is a 1-year agreement with no minimum requirement, and it's an annual renewal at anniversary date. Secondly, we've got the ETLA, which is a customized and flexible term volume licensing program. It's a 3-year enterprise-wide agreement with a minimum requirement of 30K annum. Thirdly, this is the CCS Government ETLA agreement. This is a new agreement, which is a 3-year agreement once again that is designed to deep discounts and reduce the pricing threshold into Adobe standard ETLA program. This is again a 3-year program with a minimum requirement of 30K annum, And these are accessible for all government customers. And Bytes is one of the very few partners that can transact this agreement. Now, going on to Perpetual license agreements, we have CLP, which is a 2-year agreement, which is where the program members can improve their discount levels with basically how additional licenses or upgrade plans that they purchase during their term of the CLP membership. Now, there is a minimum requirement of 8,000 points to get onto the CLP agreement. And finally, TLP, which is basically there's no membership requirements, and it's just a single transaction. It's the more you purchase in one single transaction, the higher the discount level will be. And now I'm going to move on slightly to what you receive within Perpetual and also a subscription base. So regarding Perpetual, the agreements you obviously are gone through is CLP and TLP, and the features that you receive in this is, for example, the store and share your files online, the fill and sign, the basic fill and sign formats that Stephen showed. But also with the subscription levels, it's the full solution package, where basically you can create, combine, export PDFs. It's all linked together. You can send and track your signatures and everything like that, really. And that's everything from me.
Okay, fine. Thanks, Ed. Right, so I think we'll hand back to Amy and go through any questions that might have arisen. Thanks, folks.
Lovely. Thank you, Steve, and thank you, Ed, as well. So if you do have any questions, if you can just pop those into the questions box, which is at the right-hand side of your screen, Steve or Ed will be able to answer those for you shortly. I think we have one already. Okay, so Adam has asked, where is the Adobe Cloud? We have a requirement to keep documents in the EU.
Right, yeah. So that's one area that we neglected to mention this time around, and it's a question that arises very frequently. Now, the Creative Cloud is hosted on Amazon Web Services, and the Document Cloud is scheduled to migrate to Amazon Web Services with in-region storage towards the end of this year, beginning of next. But at the moment, these servers for the Document Cloud, that's the e-signing services and the file storage, are actually housed on servers owned by Adobe in the US. So they're basically rack-based servers in the US, but they will be migrating by 2015 to in-region and on the same Amazon Web Services platform that we use for Creative Cloud.
Okay, thank you. So we have a question here from Jeanette, who's asked, when will the Perpetual Acrobat licenses stop being sold? Therefore, we'll have to buy new licenses via subscription.
Right. Well, we've made a decision this time around, unlike the Creative Cloud, where we stopped selling Perpetual licenses at the launch, effectively, of Creative Cloud, to continue selling the Perpetual licenses, albeit without access to the premium web and mobile capabilities of that are enabled by a subscription, for the foreseeable future. So there's no definite end date in terms of the Perpetual licenses. They still fall under the same upgrade plan arrangements as the old Perpetual licenses. So the customer would buy upgrade plan or gold support or something like that to support their licenses, and would renew the licenses on a 12 to 18 month upgrade licenses on a 12 to 18 month basis. Subscription customers get all the updates as they become available, just like on the Creative Cloud, throughout the term of their subscription agreement, whereas Perpetual customers only get feature-bearing updates as part of an upgrade release. Hope that was a long-winded way of saying Perpetual's going to go for as long as we can, as far as we can see, basically. There's no plans to actually stop Perpetual at the moment.
Thanks, Steve. So Jeanette's also asked, will we therefore be given notice if this should change? If so, how long?
Absolutely. With the Creative Cloud one, we gave at least 9 months advance notice of the fact that those licenses were going to, perpetual licenses were no longer going to be available, and the customer base was also emailed regularly leading up to the launch of Creative Cloud. So I'd expect exactly the same kind of lead time for this process as well.
Okay, lovely. Thanks, Steve. So Daniel has asked, in line with the cloud location question, what security levels are in place for cloud servers?
I can make some information available to you to share with Daniel, because it's a bit of a long-winded and complicated subject. So there are white papers that discuss cloud security that I can make available to you.
Okay, lovely. Thanks, Steve. So Daniel, we will send you that then in our follow-up email along with the recording. Okay, so if anyone has more questions, just pop those in the box. We'll wait a couple more minutes. Okay, so I think that's it for today. So thanks, Steve, and also Ed for presenting today, and thank you everyone for joining us. So as mentioned previously, if you could please fill out the critique form. If you would like any further information on anything discussed in the webinar today, please fill that in, and one of our Bytes specialists will get back to you. Okay, so thank you everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.